Hi, Aarthi. Welcome to the show. Huge pleasure to have you. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Okay. Hello, Akash. I am Aarthi Nagvenkar. Thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast.
Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. So, by profession, I am a counseling psychologist
Mm-hmm.
and a certified art therapist. I
Mm-hmm.
have 3+ years of experience in India,
Mm-hmm.
and I closely work with parents, children. That is the category that I work with, dealing with stress, anxiety, or depression.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, by passion, I am a special educator,
Mm-hmm.
a language and a play practitioner.
Right.
Currently, I am working in an organization, a non-profit
Mm-hmm.
organization. It is called as Samarthya Foundation. It is a US-based entity, and I am the program manager, a special educator, and a counselor
Right.
for children with intellectual disabilities. And on a personal note, I really love working as a therapist. I love my
Mm-hmm.
profession. And I consider myself to be a very fun loving person and jovial by heart. I love reading a lot of self help books.
Same.
And yeah, and I like playing guitar and piano
Okay.
during my leisure time. And I also do a lot of artworks during my
Mm-hmm.
leisure time, and also I like dancing. So a couple of things I do, and I believe in two affirmations, or I would say
Mm-hmm.
two phrases. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is called "Beautiful Life with Abundance of Blessings," which I always
Right.
believe in. Okay, and second thing is whatever you do, let it be done with love. So this is something which
Right.
I really.
Right.
So yeah, this is about me, and I'm looking forward to have an interesting conversation with you.
Same here. Okay, so the topic we are going to talk on is gratitude and resilience. So let's start
Okay.
with gratitude. What are the benefits
Okay.
of cultivating gratitude in your day-to-day life?
All right. Yeah. So I think there are a lot of couple of benefits that we
Mm-hmm.
have while we express gratitude, but I would just touch upon the major
Mm-hmm.
benefits. So some of them are like physical benefits. Okay. So in
Okay.
physical benefits, there is increase in better immune system,
Mm-hmm.
or it improves the overall life satisfaction of a person. It increases the frequency of our exercise. If someone is doing an exercise, so you feel like doing more.
Right.
That would be physical benefits. In psychological benefits, it helps a person when you become more grateful.
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely help a person to reduce the symptoms of anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
stress, depression. Okay, it also elevates your mood. You start feeling
Yes.
much better. You start looking at the outside negativity into more positive outlook of life. You also start becoming more empathetic. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and even if you are, let's say, very hostile person or you're aggressive person, okay, you start feeling more positive when you say like, okay, I'm grateful for the person
Yeah.
I am or who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from physical and psychological, we also have social benefits. In social benefits, it improves like the interpersonal or intrapersonal relationship within ourselves as well as
Mm-hmm.
within the community. So let's
Right.
say I am talking to you and I am saying I'm really grateful to meet Akash today. So you are a person, I'm
Same here.
meeting for the first time. Yeah. So I think it's a nice way of, expanding your social
Right.
network also with grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apart from that, we also have spiritual benefits. So
Yes.
that is something which I really love about gratitude, because I think gratitude helps a person to strengthen their faith,
Mm-hmm.
okay, by believing the unseen. So
Right.
you don't know what's going to happen, but you still have to believe into it,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah, and it also fosters humility in a person, okay, which
Right.
comes from wisdom. So when you
Mm-hmm.
start praying, start understanding the concept of, what God is, what spirituality is, and how grateful you can be even for smallest things, it starts training your mind. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
once it starts training your mind, it becomes a habit to be grateful
Yes.
even for the smallest things,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that comes into spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to another benefit is career and occupational benefits.
Okay.
So how, let's say if you are my employer, okay, or my
Mm-hmm.
employee. So if I share my gratitude towards you, how would you feel? Okay, so you would definitely feel like, okay, I really like the way how she's appreciating my work, and I like the way I would approach this person again and again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it improves your confidence level also and
It
your
does.
self-esteem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And overall, it improves your job satisfaction also.
Mm-hmm.
You start believing that, okay, this work is something which suits me. This is an environment which I feel, even if it is a negative environment, I can
Mm-hmm.
cope with it because I am
Mm-hmm.
grateful about it.
Right.
So I think these are a few benefits when it comes to cultivating gratitude in our life.
So how are resilience and gratitude interconnected?
Yeah, so when it comes to resilience and gratitude, I think both of them are interconnected positively. There's a positive correlation between both. Uh, Gratitude helps us in our coping mechanisms,
Okay.
okay, and resilience is something which, again, if you are having, let's say, a setback, you have
Mm-hmm.
the ability to bounce back into it, or you come out of it positively. So I feel both go hand in hand.
Right.
Another thing is when you start expressing or showing gratitude, okay,
Mm-hmm.
maybe to ourselves or to the people around us, or even to the smallest things, it
Mm-hmm.
improves our life satisfaction. It improves our we start feeling more pleasure about it, and
Yes.
also there's a positive outlook towards it. This further enhances the emotional resilience of a person.
Right.
Okay, and it builds our inner strength to combat stress.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I feel like when you practice gratitude on a daily basis, okay, you start reminding yourself that this is the best way that I can do, like, yeah, this is something which I want to do, and this helps me in turn to be resilient.
Right.
Yeah. And it also gives me the courage to move on in life much better. So even if I have some negative setback, I would say like, okay,
Which
let
are
me be
bound to
grateful
happen.
to. Yes,
Right.
definitely. It's always
Right.
bound to happen.
Right.
And I think there are a couple of studies also which talks about, the relationship between resilience and gratitude.
Okay.
And there is a study which says about, how people with depression, they face a lot of, symptoms, and how can they recover much better when they are more resilient or when they are more grateful. So there was a couple of studies in which it was said that people who are more grateful, they recover better and sooner, and they are motivated to bounce back from their distress. So this was one
And
of the nicest. Yeah.
right. Is it also true that those who are not resilient may relapse into depression again?
Yes, it is true. It definitely, because I would say that I don't think a person who's just resilient is not more than enough. I think the person should also be grateful because it's a combination of both. So when there is a combination of both, then only the person will start realizing, okay, there is
Right.
something that's happening. Because see, the more I repeat, like, I am grateful because I am alive, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful because I am feeling much happier today, I start thinking that, okay, I can get back to, even if there's a negative situation, I can come out of it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
What if someone says to you that all that is fine about gratitude, but I have genuine problems that I cannot study or I live on the street. So how can they practice gratitude?
Okay, so when you mean by that, I'm assuming that this person is not that, I mean, does not practice
Yeah, no.
gratitude, would definitely want to know certain ways or strategies
Mhm.
on how to go about it, right? So probably, yes, there are certain ways which the person can feel much grateful. The first thing I would say is, smile. I think we have a beautiful expression on our face, that is smile, and it's a gift given by God. So the more we smile, okay, and we distribute to other people, or let's say we share it with others, you not only feel inner happiness with yourself, but you also feel that this person is looking at me and is feeling
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
And also, when it comes to smile, there is another thing which affirmation I get in my mind. It's like, I am grateful to share my smile with others.
Right. It is also
And
contagious,
even,
right?
yes, definitely, like I can see you on the screen, you're
Yeah.
smiling, so
Yeah.
even I feel like smiling back. So it's
Right.
not like, let's see, you're talking to me and this podcast is happening, and I'm just sitting here dull, I don't know what is happening also. Would you feel like talking to me, or would you feel like telling me something? No, right? Yeah, so I think we should definitely learn, if we want to be more grateful, learn to smile with
Mhm.
others. And also what happens is, we are so much busy in our own world. Okay, we are always looking to mobile. Then we just even hit a stranger also, we are not even looking at that person's face. So start maintaining eye contact, start
Mhm.
giving a smile when you're into a social setup. Okay, try and see how you can be grateful to the other person. All
Right.
right, so this is one thing. Second thing, I would say, try and practice more of gratitude affirmations. Like just now,
Yeah.
how I said, I am grateful to share my smile with others. So, affirmation is something which starts with I statement.
Mhm.
Okay, like, I am grateful for something. It can be a person, it can be a thing, or it can be to your own self.
Right.
The more you practice this gratitude affirmation, it helps your mind. Okay, it trains your mind actually to keep doing that thing more and more.
Right.
That
Right.
is
It
the most.
wires. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
rewires in your brain,
Yeah.
and it goes so much deep down that you
Mhm.
start feeling, okay, I should do this because it's giving me something from inside. It's making me feel better. Okay, I'll just share with you. I have a book here. It's called Mind Mate. Okay, and I have a lot of affirmations written. So this is something which I do on a daily basis.
Wow.
Okay, so gratitude. Yeah, so gratitude affirmation is something that I practice in the morning before I wake up, and at night before I go to bed. And to add with gratitude affirmation, I also practice gratitude journaling. So
Mhm.
this is a journaling book. Okay, if it's something like around 105 pages, not more than that. Okay, and what you have to do is, you only need to write three grateful things that you are. I mean, you have any three grateful things in your life. So let's say, I'm grateful for waking up today morning. I'm grateful for having good food, healthy food. I am grateful for drinking water. Okay, even
Right.
the water that we have is very
Right.
important.
Right.
I going with gratitude affirmation also goes with gratitude journaling.
Mhm.
And why this gratitude journaling is because, again, it helps you overall in your health, and also makes you more resilient.
Mhm.
So you see how it goes hand in hand.
Right.
So and also, you start, when you start writing down, you start understanding that it's not just important to just talk, but when you note it down, it just goes and fixes in your mind.
Right.
That's the beautiful part of it.
Yeah.
And writing about it, it makes it more affirmative.
Mhm.
Yeah. So so yeah, as I said, affirmations, journaling, and you can also try something like being more mindful about your negative situation.
Mhm.
Okay, and trying to channelize it into three positive things.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
now let's say, right now I am feeling very disappointed because I'm sitting in front of Akash, and he's
I'm
not
sorry.
even acknowledging. Okay, it's
Okay.
it's just an example,
Uh-huh.
hypothetical example. But let me say, I'm going to channelize it into three positive things. Okay, it can be a positive emotion, it can be a
Uh-huh.
positive affirmation, or or it can be a positive thought.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say and what are the three things I can be positive about right now? So right now I can say that it's okay, even if he's not acknowledging me, but he is giving a nice smile. So I feel good about it. He's asking me questions, which is something that I know. So I'm really happy about it.
Right,
Okay.
right,
And maybe this is a new experience for me. So I'm
mm-hmm.
grateful to you.
Right.
Right. So I channelized my negative thought into three positive things.
This is really
Okay.
creative.
Yes. Now I'll tell you the best part why I said three things is because there's a reason behind it.
Uh-huh.
Now, let's say the first time when I say something positive, it barely neutralizes it, okay? The negative thing. But the second time I say something positive, now it's probably neutralizing with my negativity. But the
Okay.
third one, when I say, it's positive, now it's actually giving me a positive outlook because when I said I'm getting a new opportunity, I'm sitting in front of you and this is a new opportunity, see the impact of it, right? So that much amount of gratitude I have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I would say, you can always channelize your negative thoughts into three positive thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. Coming to the next part, I would say try and maintain a gratitude letter. Okay. Maybe just
Okay.
write a letter to your best friend or to your loved one. I would say even write a letter to someone whom you meet, who's very kind to you and you'd like to appreciate. So let us be more aware of the situation and also the person whom you are talking to. So write down a letter and let's see what it makes, like what it, the feeling the person gets. So let's say I write a letter to you, you would definitely feel so nice, right? You would be like, okay, this person is appreciating me for my
Mm-hmm.
works. And if you write it for me, I would also feel so good because might be you're expressing my qualities
Right.
or maybe something else. But try and incorporate a letter. And if even if you're not good at letter, it's fine. It's always good to just make an attempt.
Right.
Yeah. Apart from that, I believe that small gestures are very important than big things. So maybe giving a hug or holding a person's hand, maintaining an eye contact, okay, and
Yeah.
saying thank you, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that makes a lot more impact
It
than
does.
you doing bigger gestures, like going out of your way and you
Mm-hmm.
say I can buy a car for you just because I'm grateful for you. That's a whole lot of thing, right? But just a small gestures makes more than a positive impact in a person's life.
Right.
Lastly, I would say a prayer. Okay, so since I am a very spiritual person, I believe that prayer is very important in order to, for me at least, to be more
Mm-hmm.
grateful in life.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's not about religion, but it's just about, pray and talk to God. Say that, I'm grateful to you because you've given me this life and I can utilize it the way how you want it to be. So, talk to God that way. And I just recollected when I say prayer, I have one praise and worship song. If you can allow me, just
Of
two
course.
stanza if I could sing. Yeah. So it says, count my blessings. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So count my blessings and name them one by one. Count my blessings and see what God has done. Count my blessings, name them one by one, and it sees what it surprises you what God has done. So these were the two things that I just wanted to
Beautiful.
say. Yeah. So I think prayer is very important, and I
Mm-hmm.
love singing praise and worship songs. So as and when I get time, I think that also uplifts my mood. So this is
Right.
how I would say that. Yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
would say for all the youth or whoever is, feeling that gratitude is something that you cannot practice,
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you practice daily in these different kinds of, ways or
Mm-hmm.
strategies, it would help you to have a positive outlook in life.
So, what is the difference between sorry, being spiritual and being religious?
Oh, that's a whole lot of different topic, I would say.
So, you
Because
brought up prayer.
see,
That's why.
yeah, I feel, see, being a religious person, this is what my thought is.
Mm-hmm.
The person would definitely, do things blindly, first
Mm-hmm.
thing, or the
Mm-hmm.
person not doing blindly but is following all the rituals.
Right.
Okay, so it could be like you're going to the temple, you're going there, you're taking maybe 2 coconuts to, like saying that God, if you do this, I will give you this coconut, or I will, pour the milk, if all those rituals.
Mm-hmm.
But if you understand the meaning of it, let's say you understand the meaning and the purpose behind it, and then you're doing it, that is a different case. And
Right.
let's say when it comes to spirituality, it's more than being religious. It's more like, you are trying to connect to God. You're trying to, whatever the wisdom that Lord is trying to share with you, you're trying to think about it, you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
reflect on it. And that's when you start creating, a one-on-one connection with God. Many people think that it's just a power, and it does not do much. But I feel that even if it's a power, okay, you just talk to him. You whatever you feel, you just share. And I think in my life there has been a lot of miracles, like, back to back actually. So even if I just talk to him, next day I see a result. That's how it is for me.
Right.
So, however, when you have a relationship, make sure you talk also appropriately. It's not like, you're talking to a friend. Yes, God is also your friend, but it should be like, you're talking relevant things. It's not like, God, you give me a chocolate and I'll be very happy. So
That's
that's more
conditional.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
that's more like, when you're child and you're asking that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you grow up, you should know what you're asking and how you're asking. So that's the level of amount of spirituality a
Right.
person should have, should, understand the meaning and purpose and do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Right. Okay. So, coming to resilience, what are some of the benefits of being resilient?
Okay. I think some of the benefits when it comes to being resilient would be a person, if is going through any tragedy, or
Mm-hmm.
let's say any kind of hardship, the person is able to bounce back in a better way, or
Mm-hmm.
is able to cope that stress in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say a person is already a resilient person,
Uh-huh.
okay, and whether we have some global emergency or a personal crisis. Global emergency, like we had a pandemic, right?
Right.
Or let's say we have a tsunami all of a sudden, or some floods. Personal crisis can be like, someone, you have lost someone dear to you, your loved one, or you have lost your pet. Let's say
Uh-huh.
you had a dog and you lost your pet. uh, all such things, okay, it really creates a turmoil in a person's life. It's very difficult to, I can just say the word resilient, you have to be resilient. But to incorporate that, and a person who's already resilient, that's what I'm saying, if the person is already resilient, he's better able to cope with it.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely it helps the person to, come out of an adversity in a much better way. uh, Also, a person who's already resilient is he or she is able to stay focused, more flexible, okay,
Mm-hmm.
in life, feel less afraid of, uncertain future. So let's say there is something going to happen, but still, you are okay with it, you know how to deal with it.
Right.
And also you can manage and tolerate strong emotions. Let's say you're a very angry person, but even if you are put in that situation under pressure, you can come out of it very gracefully. That's how it makes. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
a very resilient person, you are able to understand how to come out of it and
Right.
also face that challenge. And people who are resilient, one of the most beautiful thing about them is they won't run away from the situation. They will face the situation, they will stand there, whatever it takes, they will take it. That's how they are. And even if they're not able to, at that moment handle it, but they will calm themselves down and face it within like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because I've seen people doing that.
Uh-huh.
So that's the cool thing about someone who's already resilient.
So how does a person become resilient? Is it inherent, or do they?
No, how can a person become resilient is first thing, the person has to start accepting the situation, okay, the
Okay.
way it is. So let's say I have a negative situation in front of me, and the situation is I have lost my job.
Okay.
Okay. Now there are two things that can happen here. Either you sulk inside and you start blaming the boss because the boss was bad, so I lost my job, or I am not good enough and I don't deserve this. This is what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or to become a resilient person, what you can do is
Mm-hmm.
just search for a new job, start searching for new jobs where you can apply, what you can do, what could be the possible ways, that I can have the similar kind of a work environment if you liked it before.
Right.
Also, what you can do is, if you feel that your skills were something which was not appropriate for that organization, and that's why you were thrown out, or maybe said that you should not join this, then you can brush up on your skills, do some courses, get some I would say get some knowledge about it, and
Mm-hmm.
then go for a job. So this is what an example I've given. When you're in a negative situation, learn to accept it and learn to acknowledge it, and after that start thinking in a different way. Okay, start seeing how you can be more resilient here.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I would say is, accept and acknowledge your negative emotions. Let's say I am very sad,
Right.
okay, but you're trying to keep it back of your mind and you're
Mm-hmm.
showing in front that I can smile, I can do
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Right.
No, if you're feeling sad, sit with it, okay, identify it, why you're feeling sad, maybe write down for what is the
Mm-hmm.
reason it is, and then you'll be able to deal with that in a much better way. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you can cope with it in a better way. So that's when you can move on in life and be more resilient. All right. Another thing you can be resilient is, you can reach out to people. Let's say your family members, okay, let's say your friends. They are
Mm-hmm.
always there for. Also, what happens is, go to people whom you trust, because you know that even when you tell your problems, okay, or let's say you're facing any challenges, they will not judge you. They will
Mm-hmm.
actively listen. They will
Right.
be there for you. Yeah. And learn to prioritize your relationships. I think that's very important.
Yes,
If you
it
want
is.
to be resilient,
Mm-hmm.
you need to know whom you can look out for and whom you can be with, so
Mm-hmm.
that that person also adds to be more resilient for you. Yeah. And let's say if you have negative people around,
Mm-hmm.
and who always criticize you, who always tell bad things about you, who judge you, would you feel more resilient? No, right? You would definitely feel like, what am I doing here? This person is giving me more headache than
Mm-hmm.
being more resilient. So try and avoid such people. Try to be in a good social good people whom you can connect with. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, do not withdraw from tough situations. Be there, okay? Like, you don't have to, it's not like a fight or a flight response that I'm saying, but try to be in that situation, understand how you can deal with it. If you can't, it's okay, but try and be there, try and acknowledge it, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe gradually you can be more resilient towards it. Okay. Another thing where a person can become more resilient is, definitely, as I said, expand your social network, which is very, very, very important.
Right.
Get enough of exercise,
Right.
sleep well. Okay. Sleeping is very important. 6 to 8 hours is important.
Right.
Which I feel most of the generation, like whether it's the younger generations
Mm-hmm.
or the generation of ours, we always want to be like, what is going on in people's life, and let us scroll on mobile. So
Uh-huh.
all those things happen. I feel you need to calm down your mind. You need to get that rest. then only you'll be able to understand how to face any situation in that manner. Eat healthy food, very important. Have a healthy diet. Practice mind and body relaxation technique. Okay, so we can do mindful strategies or mindful exercises, just breathing exercise also. Just that also helps a lot. Maybe 5 or 10 minutes in the morning. Very nice. We can also provide help to others. So when I mean help to others, let's say you're facing some problem and I'm also facing a problem, okay, but I know that your problem is, your weightage is more here and mine is more low. Okay, so I would come to you, I would ask you, how can I help you? Or how can I be a support system for you? You would feel so nice that there is somebody who's asking me. Okay, there is somebody, even if this person is stranger, but this person is trying to be kind to me. So you would like to share, okay, maybe this is what is happening, this is how it's happening. So I'm trying to just be a helping hand for you. When I do that, okay, I start understanding that my problem is something which I can, fix it. It's not like I have to cry over it. So I can be more resilient. And I'll get I might never know that your situation might be similar to mine as well. So I'll get some ideas how to cope with it.
Plus the fact that you're not alone, that also helps you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not alone and I can be with someone who I think this person can vibe with me or this person can think like me, right? So that also makes me feel more resilient or makes me to become a resilient person. Another thing is pursuing your hobbies and passions. I think your hobbies and interests are very important in life because a lot people, they just focus on their work and what they're doing, but they do not see what are some of the interests that they have, okay, and incorporate that in their life. That is why a lot of times when a challenge comes, okay, they do not know how to handle it. Because let's say, to be honest, I lost my grandmom last year, and I did not know how to deal with it, okay, but I knew that I had to come over it, like I have to overcome it. So in order to overcome it, I just did two things. One was I started sleeping, I took better rest for myself because I knew my thoughts were not channelizing in a positive way. So in order to make it positive way, I felt like sleep could be something which could help me. And secondly, since I practice or since I do a lot of artwork, I started engaging more in my art because I believe that my negative emotions is something I can channelize with creating artwork. So when I started doing that, I started feeling better. Okay. And it has taken me a lot of time, but I've definitely overcome it. This is what I can say. Because right now when I'm sitting with you, I'm talking about it. That's what I feel. I have become more resilient. I have come out of, overcome it. So definitely I would say, your interest and your hobbies are very important. Yeah. And lastly, I will not forget is practice gratitude, because again, gratitude leads to resilience. Gratitude makes the person to become more resilient. That is what I would say.
Last thing I'd like to ask you, what is your specialization and how can one contact you?
Okay. Yeah. So as I said, my specialization is in counseling psychology, and I'm a certified art therapist. And most of my work is based on Carl Rogers concepts, like having unconditional positive regard, being empathetic, and being non-judgmental. So these are some tools and techniques that I've been using in my therapy setup. And I believe that in a therapeutic environment, it's very important to create a safe space for clients, and also to give them or to acknowledge them for the way they are. And it's a partnership where both of us work together. Okay. And yes, how can people connect me? They can connect me on my LinkedIn profile. They can connect me on my social Instagram profile. So I have two Instagram profiles. One is it's called Reflection of Passion. wherein I post or create a lot of public awareness on it's the main mission is to normalize mental health. So there is a lot of posts where you can read on different topics on psychology. And second is a gratitude support group. So this page talks more about how to be grateful and how to be more resilient, how to be, how to forgive people, how to be more self-compassionate and kind. So I'm the founder of this group, and I also have 3 friends of mine who have collaborated with me. So yeah, I think these 2 things. And another thing is you can definitely connect with me on my email ID. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Aarthi. You have been very insightful, and it was a very good conversation.
Thank you.
Stop the recording.